The college basketball experience pregame show for Friday night, the December 13th edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with that promo code TCESGPN to get a 50% deposit up to $1,000. That is Underdog Fantasy, promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sportsbook available in 45 states. Download the Rebet app in the App Store. Promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college hoops, college football, and NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is esportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience pregame show for Friday night, December the 13th. Oh, boy, man. We got a kind of a shitty slate here, but we will we'll get into the lineup and look ahead to Saturday, which is the mega slate. But first off, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Here's everybody, a new week in the books, baby. And yes, we do have a quad box here tonight, full house. First up, you guys, well, probably just heard him over there at the Big 12 experience. He is the Big 12 guru, a.k.a. the Green Mow and Weed Grower, Troy Tuning. What's up, Troy?
Just one side of the four necessary sides of the quad box tonight. We're all squares. Everyone drop your squares in the chat.
There you go. Drop your squares in the chat. A couple other sharps while we're looking at some squares in the chat. You guys know him from the Underdog, right up daily over at SGPN. He is Matthew Dewaskin, a.k.a. Cannabis Capper CC. What's up, man?
Mac, great to be here. I guess we're playing four corners tonight. I've always seen it win when teams run it, so nothing but dubs tonight for us, I'm sure.
Nothing but dubs indeed. And fourth man in the box. I should not say third man in the box. I almost did because that's what I usually do. But fourth man in the box. You guys know him well. He's a diehard Green Bay Packer fan. Also a Wisconsin Badger fan from the Pump Fake Pod. He is Trevor, a.k.a. Stoolie Picks. What's up, man?
Not much. This is a very shitty slate. Somehow last night was better, but it's going to be a good weekend. We got a hell of a card on Saturday.
We do, and I want to get to the games real quick because I want to leave as much time to get your guys' game opinions. I can't talk on Saturday's games. Let's dive into the secondary game of the night. South Dakota State going to Colorado. This line, is it still – sorry, I forgot to pull up the ads. Is the line still at 9.5? I know it was 8.5 when we picked it. Opened at 7.5, up to 9.5. I took the Jackrabbits last night. I think it's a hair too high. Colorado wins by 6. Give me them Jackrabbits. Troy, how about you?
I do think this number is a little bit too much to lay with Colorado, but I don't have a ton of conviction on it. And I've been known to put leans out there, but I'm not going to start the quad box off on a lean. That's just a bad idea. I'm going to play the under 145.5 in this one. These two have had some low scoring matchups, and I think I'm going to play the under on this one.
Okay. Trev, how about you?
I kind of like Colorado in this one. I know South Dakota State looked pretty good, whoever they played last game, but just going up to elevation in Colorado on a Friday night, like they play so much better at home. I know Oscar Kloof is a problem. I mean, he could keep them in this game alone, but if he runs into any kind of trouble, if he has an off night, it's going to be a long night for him. And we did just see him kind of blow a second half lead. I think it was 7 points. They're up 7 or 8 at halftime on Nevada, and I think Colorado's a much better team than Nevada. So I will I'll sway with Colorado on this one, -9, but no play for me in this one personally.
Okay.
Cap.
We've got 60% of the bets on the spread are on Colorado tonight. Fade the public. Give me these Jack Fucks plus the 9.5.
Jack fuck it up, baby. Let's go.
Hey, how does the quad box feel about first half plus 4.5 with the Jacks?
Quad box likes it. Well, this corner of the quad box likes it.
I would like him first half more than full game, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a big feel because it's like it's not a horrible spot for Colorado. I know they're off the Colorado State win, but I don't think that's as big a game as we make it out to be. I think I prefer the full game.
Okay.
Square, the only square in the quad box.
All right, Illinois-Nebraska, up to 4.5. I guess it was 4.5 last time we picked it. Opened at like 2. Things steaming up. Give me Big Red here. Big Red, double digits.
Double digits. I was gonna say I'm kind of scared of the 4.5, and I was thinking about if your best idea for Nebraska is just play the money line. You think they're gonna go out there and stomp them, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, gun to the head, I would lay it with Nebraska here. I do think Indiana is phony. I will probably buy it to like 2.5 though, with the original line.
Okay. Trev?
I laid it with Nebraska. I took -4. I'm offshore. I see it up to 5 now, so it's kind of moving that way. But I'm with Mac. I mean, Indiana shot out their minds against Minnesota, managed to cover that game by 4 points, which I was all over that in the chat. I was arguing with a couple of people that one night of that game, but they shot really well. I mean, Ballo shot 8 of 11 too from the free throw line, and he's a career 54% shooter. So I think he's going to regress a little bit. I think he'll still have a solid night, but first true road game, Nebraska Big Ten opener Friday night. Everyone's going to watch it because it's the 2 big names on the card. So I like Nebraska to show out by at least 7 or 8 tonight.
Yeah, I got a co-sign with Trevor. I don't like the spot for Indiana at all. It's the first road game, I believe first true road game, like you said. Big Ten opener. Don't like it for them at all. Nebraska wins this pretty comfortably. I feel like I feel like Indiana is is way fraudulent. Is way fraudulent this year. I'm not a fan of them, especially on the road. So yeah, I'll still lay it even at the 5.
This isn't good. All 4 of us are on it, and
oh no,
and Colby was on it, and Noah was on it. That's 6 across the board on the.
Oh no,
go Big Red, get Indiana and Mike Woodson out of here. They're not as good as their record. I'll tell you who is as good as their record. That's Underdog Fantasy, baby. Promo code TCESGPN. Let's get this entry fired up. Cap, where are we going?
Okay. For tonight, there's only one game still posted on Underdog. It's the Indiana-Nebraska game. The play that I like best, give me Raleigh-Worcester over. I'm sorry, Raleigh-Worcester higher than 7.5 rebounds and assists. Yeah, I know. I'm
report email now.
I know you are. I'm in big trouble.
Who'd you even give out? I was yelling higher. I didn't even hear who you gave out.
Raleigh-Worcester higher than 7.5 rebounds and assists.
All right, Worcester higher, 7.5 assists and rebounds. Trev, you got anything tonight?
Yeah, I like Ballo. I believe it was 1.5 assists, higher than 1.5 assists. Yep, it is. He's gone over this like every game except for the first 3 in the season, I believe it was. Let me look at this. Yeah, he's other than since UNCG November 21st, he's gone over this in like 6 straight games. So I think you can at least find 2. I mean, they're going to try to keep him out of the paint. So some dish outs, a couple buckets off of the kick out. So I like Ballo higher, 1.5 assists.
Higher. Troy, where are you going?
I know the last time I put out a pretty weird play, but it worked. The lower than 1.5 turnovers with RJ Luis. That one hit. I'm going higher than half of a 3-pointer made by Jizzle James tomorrow in that Cincinnati game. Only one game this year without a 3-pointer made. Still sitting at half. So he's going to jizzle all over your parlay.
Get on over there, everybody. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. That is a 6-1 over there. Higher 1.5 threes for James. Higher 1.5 assists for Ballo, and Worcester higher than 7.5 assists and rebounds. Get on over there. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. All right, let's get over to Saturdays. In full disclosure, I will not give out any picks on this. I will just hand it to you guys to hear your thoughts on these openers for Saturday. I can't give away my hand. What
are you selling them now?
I'm selling you the product. Come join the Preview Picks page or Preview Picks. I can't even talk.
I'm
still trying to sell you a product, but I can't talk fucking English. Come join the Preview and Pick show tonight with Colby and I at Saturday, where I'm sure we'll have a lot of whiskey, talk a lot of shit, and I guess pick some games. So let's get over to the Buckeyes and Auburn Tigers chat. Throw your picks in there too. If I see everybody on the same side, I may have to page you later tonight. Oh, it's doing this thing. There it is.
Your mic switched again.
No, the S word got involved and can't get her involved, and she fucks shit up. SIRI, that is everybody. Let's go over to Ohio State and Auburn. This line has steamed up, guys. Let me tell you. 8.5. Trevor, you messaged me. This thing's up to 11.5. This game is in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena. Troy, I'll let you pick it. We are picking it at 11.5. I'm not sure I've ever seen a line move 3 points in, I guess, at the opener already. Usually it doesn't move till about 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and it seems like it's steamed up to the number that's right, because all the way up to 11.5, I felt pretty good about laying it with Auburn, but now it's that extra one over the 10 number it kind of scares me away. I do think Auburn wins this game, and I do think they win it comfortably. And I don't know if with a first-year coach and sweaty Bruce Pearl, I'm always on the side with the sweaty coaches. So I guess gun to the head, I would lay the 11.5 with Auburn, but again, I would probably buy this down back to that 8.5 or 9.5 range, to be honest.
Okay. Trevor, are you on Auburn here?
I don't know. I kind of like Ohio State when it's up that much. It seems like maybe it'll go up another half point or something. You can maybe get 12 on this.
It ain't coming down.
No, that's for damn sure. So if you like Ohio State, I guess just wait. But Auburn's really good, but this is a neutral in Atlanta, so I'm sure they'll have fans there. But Ohio State's, they're not a terrible team. They can still hang in. You're going to give them 12 points, 11 points. It's a lot. I think they could easily lose this game by 9 or 10. I know Auburn's really good. You got the sweaty coach system for Troy there with Bruce, but it feels like too much. Now, if this was in Auburn, I would have no problem laying that. They would smack them by 20. But I think Ohio State can kind of hang around here by 9, 10 points and cover this. I would have really loved Auburn plus 8.5 from this morning when FanDuel hung that on accident.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
accidental swap.
Yeah, they fucked that one up. That would be 20. That would be 22 points of CLV. You're definitely not winning that bet. Somehow Ohio State will win by 9. Gav, what's your thoughts on this game?
We just watched Ohio State lose by 24 to Maryland. Now that was in Maryland. I don't see how they stay close with Auburn on this. I think Auburn blows the doors off and win by 20. Give me Auburn. I'll lay it. I co-sign with Troy.
Alt line, are you willing to take it up? What number would you not lay it with them at? Like if it got up to 13.5, would you still lay it?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep going.
Just curious.
Keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, play it at 19.5. What's the juice on 19.5?
Let's go. Keep going. Come on.
Quad box has fucking Cap going crazy.
Let's go to a game that's going to have a lot of juice. It's Xavier-Cincinnati. Oh, baby. This thing is going to be absolutely lit, and hopefully there's a fight. That'd be great. Xavier.
Be a good bet. Over half a fight?
Higher. Cincinnati laying 7.5 at home. Troy, where are you going? Big 12 or Big East?
7.5 seems like in this rivalry scenario, I'm going to have to take the points. I think Cincinnati wins the game, but I don't think that they win this by 8 or more. I think this is just a rivalry grind game.
Okay. Trev, how about you?
I like Xavier in this one. I had heard a stat that, it's a true stat. Wes Miller's 0 for 5 against Xavier in his tenure at Cincinnati, and Xavier's kind of just dominated this rivalry for a minute now. And you got to pair that with the fact that Cincinnati cannot shoot free throws if their life depended on it. Now you got to lay almost double digits, close to double digits with them. I think it was 8.5 or 9. So I like Xavier here. I think Sean Miller and company are able to hang in there, maybe even win this game. I mean, Cincinnati and Wes Miller just never have luck against Xavier, whether home or on the road. So okay. I like Xavier with the points here in this one.
Cap.
Okay. Xavier has won 5 straight in the series.
Yeah.
And the last 2 have been decided by last year's only 5-point game, year before a 3-point game. I think these teams are about, it's going to be right about that. I do like Cincinnati to get the job done. They're going to break the streak, but Xavier stays within the number. Give me Xavier in the points if I'm betting this one.
All right, got a bet there. Let's go over to the Pac-12. We got Pac-12 reunited, and it feels so good. Arizona-UCLA. This game is tipping off at 3:00. This game is in Phoenix, so it's not a home court. Arizona laying 3. Troy, what do you think?
Well, why?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's in the state of Arizona.
This seems like
name brand, I guess.
Stinky line, and I don't know if it's not quite the FanDuel posting the plus 8.5 on the wrong team, but I don't know if I want to dive into this stink. I don't think it's bait. I'm just going to take the points with UCLA.
Trev?
I'm with them. I like UCLA. I think they win outright. Arizona's just been absolutely awful versus top tier teams this year. I mean, their wins are coming against absolute nobodies. Their biggest win is Davidson this year. I mean, they lost to Wisconsin, Duke, Oklahoma, and West Virginia. So I mean, I don't like him. I like Mick Cronin in that defense. I know they're coming off that basically a buzzer beater at Oregon last game, but I just haven't been impressed with Arizona this year. Davidson hung around until they ran out of gas the final 10 minutes or so of that game, and then it got blown open. So I like UCLA to win this one outright.
Okay. All right. My only concern is that UCLA has a number next to their name.
Fair.
So we got UCLA with the number next to their name plus the points.
Yeah.
Give me Arizona. I'll lay the 3. I think they win by 5. They need a win. They got to get this game.
Kentucky-Louisville. This game's up to 12.5. This game's going to be awesome at Rupp Arena. 5:15 Eastern. This is a home and home. Where are you going, Troy? You laying the big number with Kentucky?
I do love me some Wildcats. Definitely have more fun. Like if you're going to go visit a town, Lexington's cooler than Louisville. It's not quite as hoodie. But if I'm going off of what I just said about Xavier and Cincinnati, these are 2 teams that don't fucking like each other either. And I don't know if 12.5 is, I don't think you're going to see somebody lay down and let them pull away. I do think Kentucky is better than Louisville by about 13 points, but I don't think that they win the game by 13 points. I'll take the points with the Cardinals here.
On the points. Trev.
What was the spread?
12.5.
12.5. I mean, that's big, but Louisville freaking sucks, man. I mean, they shot the 8 of 11 from 3 against Duke at home. We're only up 14 and managed to blow that in the cover. I mean, Mark Pope has shown that he has no problem just running up scores on teams, and the fact that this is his first game against Louisville as a coach, I think he wants to put it on them and just really pound them. Show Kentucky fans that he was the right guy for the job. I mean, I think we figured that out already, but just in case anyone was doubting, I think he's going to pound them. I think it's Kentucky by 15 plus in this one.
Kentucky by 1 million, says Trevor. Cap, how about you, brother?
I got to co-sign the Kentucky by 1 million. I really want to build a case to take the points with Louisville, but again, we've talked about Mark Pope needing to make an impression on that fan base, and I think this is a statement game for him. They're gonna try to run it up, win by 20. I'll lay it with Kentucky. Let's go.
And Louisville's decimated. I mean, they've lost so many guys. So
a lot of injuries.
They were healthy. I would
I
like the points.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say I don't see one yet, but if this could be another case of maybe you take
First
the
half.
+5.5 in the first half, and then take Kentucky to, even if you're like me, maybe put it together with Kentucky to cover at an 8.5 or a 9.5 number or something like that, just to get some of the juice back. But I think Louisville, I feel like they hang with them for a little bit. You might be right on the whole Mark Pope makes a run and says, we're going to stomp on their throats, but that feels like it would come later. The injury angle, they get worn out later, but they stay within the number in the first half.
That kind of goes in my handicap. I don't see Louisville being able to hang with them for a full 40. I think they're eventually they're just gonna kind of grind them down, wear them out, and before you know it, you're gonna see Kentucky get by 20 by the end of this one.
What are your guys' thoughts on Illinois, Tennessee? Pick them now. So does Tennessee have a major injury? Did they announce that somebody's out? This line has dropped 3.5 points.
That's wild.
Yeah. Tennessee opened as a 3.5 point favorite. Now down to 3.5. Troy, what's your take?
I mean, I'm picking Tennessee.
In Champaign?
Yeah.
Sure. This one feels, again, it's not quite the +8.5 on accident, but this one, I feel like I'm just going to take the better team. If you're going to let me get that even juice number on a money line play with Tennessee, who hasn't lost a basketball game yet, I'll go ahead and take it.
I think Illinois is going to win this game. I mean, they're not a bad team. I mean, they got a lot of solid pieces. That freshman too, I forget his Kasparis Chakionis, whatever the hell it is. He's really fucking good. I mean, their point guard Boswell, he's been solid too. At home, I think this is a much bigger game. I mean, the Wisconsin game was big, but you're getting number one coming into your building, who hasn't lost yet or played a true road game. I think Tennessee drops one here. In a tough building to play in. We saw Wisconsin hang around, and I think Tennessee's but I mean, they're better obviously, but they're number one, no losses, first true road game, and this place is going to be absolutely lit on a Saturday. So I like Illinois in this one.
That place is going to be going bonkers. What?
Yeah.
4:30 local time tip. Oh man, they're going to start early, and they're in Champaign. Marquette-Dayton. Speaking of lit. This place, what time is this game? Is this 7? 7 Eastern. Oh, they're going to be juiced up in Flyer Nation land. Marquette's got to go on a true road game at Dayton Arena here. You got former VCU coaches squaring off. Troy, what do you think?
I feel like the home crowd is probably worth the 1.5 that they're giving you.
Yeah.
So you have the idea of 3 points. I'm going to take the Flyers. I'm also going to play the Flyers on the money line here, but I'll take that point. I do think that we see a pretty tight game throughout the whole time. But I'll go with the Flyers. The Flyers fan base is vastly underrated by casuals.
Yeah, I mean, Dayton,
I get what you're saying.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. No, Troy, I definitely get what you're saying, but Marquette's already got a road loss this year. I don't think they want to take that second loss so early in the season. I think there is a kitchen sink game for them. They get up for this game. I think they win it outright, but barely. I see -1.5. Marquette wins by 3.
I'm with Troy. I like Dayton in this one. Outright. I mean, that place is going to be insane. I mean, those fans are going to be drunk as hell, loud as hell. And I mean, Dayton had whoever they played in Maui. I mean, they had some guys on the ropes. I mean, they blew that North Carolina game. Yeah. They played Iowa State really tough, blew that North Carolina game, and then walloped Connecticut. So I mean, they're not a bad team at all, and at home catching points. I like the spot for them. I mean, Marquette's no pushover, but I mean, they went on the road to Iowa State, lost. I know they beat Maryland, but that was a 4-point win. So just hitting the road in harsh environments is tough to do, and I feel like they're kind of begging you for Marquette money here, taking just 1.5 for the bucket. So I like Dayton outright. I think they're going to show up and dominate.
Lock up
Troy,
Marquette.
you ready?
Let's go.
There you go. Troy, you ready for this one? This game's at the Thunder Arena. All right, I'll give it a pick here. Give me the Cowboys, baby. Guns up. The line's 5.5. Get this Oklahoma undefeated shit out of here. This is a Cowboy outright spot. Let's go Lutz over Porter Moser.
Now, if Oklahoma was 8-1, you wouldn't even have to think twice about this. But the fact that they're undefeated and they're playing the fucking Cowboys,
yes,
seen it a million times in a million different sports. I mean,
5.5. Favorite dog number.
I mean, I'm taking the points, but I think I'm with Mac. I'm taking Oklahoma State to win this game straight up and give Oklahoma their first loss of the year. It makes no sense. It's the dumbest play. Lock it.
It's a 2-point game.
Oklahoma State was bad last year. I think they're a lot better this year than they were last year.
I think so too.
In my opinion.
I agree.
I mean, this is a big game for Lutz. I mean, this could be a nice, solid win for him at home over your rival. And like you guys said, Oklahoma hasn't lost yet. They're due a loss, and heading into your rival, and you're laying that wonky 5.5 number. I think this is a prime spot for them to lose this game. I'm definitely on the points. I'll sprinkle the money line a little bit with you guys, but 5.5 is too much for this kind of game, and especially for the home team.
You notice how I perked up for the Big 12 in a Pride game? Fucking
I'll pick this one.
I was like, I ain't giving out any picks. I was like, no. Get Levy in this bedlam action. Fuck you, Oklahoma. Let's go Fair Cowboys. Let's go Cowboys.
Let's make it 4 for 4. I want that Oklahoma State money line. Screw the point. We don't need the points.
Yeah. Let's go. Fuck Oklahoma.
Plus, they've kind of gotten the last laugh on Oklahoma in a couple of different sports here. So
yeah. Well, last year's bedlam was that triple overtime buzzer beater. Oklahoma State lost a heartbreaker, but dude, we have the better coach in this game too. I'll take Lutz over Moser. I know Moser went to the Final Four, but I haven't been impressed with him in Norman. All right,
I love how Mac uses we with the Big 12.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say all you gotta do is get Stillwater involved, and it's we.
Yeah.
He never said anything. He never talking about Norman and Texas for 2 years. Talking about Austin, he never said we when he was talking about the Longhorns.
Oh, fuck them! Those jabronis. You fucking go over there. You get over there in that overrated SEC football conference. Better watch out. Oh, Rich Rod's going to run wild on you if we match up just like we did in the Fiesta Bowl in 07. Texas, don't even get me started on you. All right, anyway, I got my chip on my shoulder back now that I got Rich Rod back. Anyway, let's get over to the Garden. This game's fantastic. Zags, UConn. Gonzaga's laying 3. I know this will be a home game for UConn. So what's the handicap here, Troy, as I step away? Break it down.
This is a classic tuck job. Gonzaga smoked Baylor. Baylor didn't really play that well after their first 8 minutes of the game and kind of hung with UConn. They're playing in the Garden. This is, Gonzaga doesn't really get a ton of showcase games, and this is one where they're going to have to take advantage of it. I'm taking the Zags. I would probably alt-line this to like 5.5. I don't think this is a blowout. I think it's a comfortable win though.
My only concern is that we saw UConn get up in the road for the road spot with Texas. Are they back at all? Do you think?
I don't know if they ever actually left. I just think that they're not as good as they were the last 2 years, but they're still a really good basketball team. I just see Gonzaga as they've got the ability, if they have 3 guys play well, to pretty much run anybody out. So I think both teams are going to be hyped up. But I do think Gonzaga has a little bit of a talent advantage this year.
I like Connecticut. Oh, my bad. Go Gap.
Oh no, I was going to say, we Gonzaga's running a gauntlet here. They just said lost to Kentucky about a week ago, and now they get Gonzaga tomorrow. I'm sorry, they get UConn tomorrow. It's in Indiana, West Virginia. This is a gauntlet schedule. San Diego State, jeez.
They have to because they
go play the Sisters for the Blind 18 times.
Yeah, they got to be able to build that resume for the 1 seed.
That's fair.
What's their conference odds right now?
Oh, it's got to be like minus 2,000. I'll lay it with Gonzaga. I think they probably, after the loss to Kentucky, they definitely need this game for the resume. Also, I think better roster at this point, better system, better roster. Give me the Bulldogs. I'll lay it, lock it.
There you go.
Hopefully, everybody in the chat got in on our West Coast Conference champion bet at minus 210 for Gonzaga right now on DraftKings. It's minus 700. You got to get that value.
CLV. I have a feeling the chat is going to have a lot of opinions on this Gonzaga-UConn game. And I will feed off the chat on which way I will sway later this evening.
Chocolate Thunder says UConn.
Okay, I love UConn. They need this win. They need this. Store south.
Frank Corbel says UConn. Chocolate Thunder says UConn, and Trevor says UConn.
Oh, you think there's a lot of UConn in this chat? Wait till later. There's 500 jabronis in that fucking 500 meatheads from fucking the Northeast going, oh, UConn's gonna run the table from here on out. Yeah, they're gonna be on fire in the chat tonight. All right, so that's all Noah gave us, but let's go to a couple other games. Memphis,
there's one. Oh, I was going to say there's one other really big game that I wanted to talk about.
There's like 4. Yeah,
Bethune-Cookman goes to Morgantown, and
I was going to say DePaul Wichita.
That's a good game, but what about a couple of these early showcase games? Clemson laying 7. Troy,
I'm a Memphis lover, and I ended my Memphis love, luckily, before they got fucking beat. I don't know if I'm willing to jump back on the Memphis love right now. I'm going to take Clemson to cover this at Little John.
The line is daring you to take Memphis.
Mm-hmm. And I say no.
So I say no
Truth,
as well.
Not dare. Truth, not dare.
Memphis won a close game last year, I remember.
Clemson minus 7. I don't accept a dare. Vegas isn't going to scare me off.
Where are you going, Trevor?
I like Memphis. Penny as a dog. Don't like him as a favorite. They just came off that loss at home, kind of embarrassing for their standards. I mean, losing to Arkansas State, 13 points. Clemson. I mean, this is a big game. I think Memphis has got athletes in it, though, but the problem is their threes aren't falling. They're totally fucked. So. I think they'll be able to hang in. I don't know if they're going to win the game, but I like Penny as a dog more than the favorite. I mean, they got athletes. As long as they kind of contain Shefflin just a little bit, they should be fine. So Danger's going to have a big game for him, but I like Memphis with the points.
So that's an 11 a.m. game. Then you go over 12 o'clock CBS before the Army-Navy game. You got A&M, Purdue in Indy. So it'll be a Purdue home crowd, but not at Mackey. Purdue laying 2.5. Troy, where are you going?
This one is kind of tough. I want to take the buzzsaw here. It feels like a buzzsaw spot, and the fact that it's not on campus at Purdue and they get it in Indy. I think I'm gonna take the points with A&M and the buzzsaw here.
Cap,
lay it with Purdue. Texas A&M is totally fraudulent. I don't trust them at all. Purdue, they've been able to figure it out a bit. I do think they're gonna have the crowd on their side. It's not, even though it's not gonna be a home game. Give me Purdue. Purdue wins by 5. I think they cover this number. Let's go. Get this Texas A&M bullshit out of here.
It's still gonna be a home game for Purdue. Those fans will definitely travel. It's just in Indianapolis. It's not like it's halfway across the country or anything. A&M struggles with the free throws. I mean, they're going to have a rebounding advantage. This is what they do. They always crash the glass. But Purdue's got the better players. I like basically a home game for them. Texas A&M off of the Texas Tech game too, I believe. Yeah, where they basically kind of won that game because of that flagrant and whatnot late. It kind of just flipped the whole momentum of the game, and Texas Tech just couldn't recover from that. So I don't think Purdue is going to be getting calls like that and basically at home. So I like Purdue laying the 2.5 here. So I'll be landing with Purdue tomorrow.
This is a great sweaty coaches matchup. Now I know Matt Painter can't really hang in there with Buzzsaw when it comes to sweating, but he does get pretty sweaty. The problem is, if you like the sweaty coaches angle, you have to take the Buzzsaw in any possible time. That dude comes out on the court already drenched, like he just got out of a pool.
Yeah, the buzz will be sweaty. What do you guys think about Wisconsin though? This is the second leg of this Indy doubleheader. Wisconsin going to Butler, or not really going to Butler. I know Butler's located in Indianapolis, but Wisconsin laying 5.5, open at 3.5. I'll go to Trevor first for your State of the Union on Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Losers 3 in a row.
Man, we need this game bad. We've been dropping games here.
It's lost a bye game.
I know, and I fucking hate Butler. I'm always wrong on Butler, so I'm kind of like back into a corner. Like this is not a good spot for me whatsoever here. But I just got to keep fading Butler. I just haven't cared for him too much. I think Wisconsin's got better players, the better coach, in my opinion. I mean, Tanji's liable to go for 30 any game. Blackwell's solid. Winter and Crowell as well too. Klesmit started looking pretty good. They hung in with Illinois on the road. I don't think they're going to really have that much of an issue with Butler. I mean, so Butler will have the crowd here. The Purdue fans will stick around after and root for Butler over Big Ten Wisconsin here. So they'll have the crowd, but Wisconsin needs this game bad. I know Butler lost another bye game. That's 2. So it's going to be tough, but I think Wisconsin in the end will pull it out. I mean, Wisconsin free throws, they'll have the advantage. Size, they can shoot better. So, yeah, I'm fading Butler, so that means Butler's probably going to win by 10. It's just the way Butler goes for me.
At this point, I wouldn't bet Butler with somebody else's money. I gotta keep fading Butler. The team's a mess until they prove me otherwise.
Troy?
I mean, I'm going to lay the points here with Wisconsin. I know Butler did just lose to North Dakota State, but 3 straight losses for Wisconsin. I do still think they're probably the hungrier team. Biggest advantage for them, though, is out of all 4 of these teams in this little standalone thing that they're doing, Bucky's the best mascot by a mile.
Bucky, yeah, but I like Bucky.
They're going to do something in between the games with the mascots, and Bucky's going to fucking win, and that's just how it happens.
So that's a 2:30 Big Ten game. What about 2:30 ACC game? And it's kind of wrong that this game is on the fucking ACC network, because this used to be the biggest. Like, I don't know if it was the biggest, but when Georgetown and Syracuse squared off once upon a time, it used to be circle it on the calendar. Boeheim versus Thompson. Syracuse laying 1.5, 2, shop around. Troy, I mean, you know how big this game is in the DC area. This game is at the Carrier Dome. So where are you going?
I think this is one of the samurai plays here where you play the number for Georgetown in the first half, but you play Syracuse to cover it. I would think you're going to get like plus 4.5 or something like that in the first half. And then, it's not the Carrier Dome anymore because when they finally got air conditioning, they got rid of the air conditioning sponsor. So I do think that they kind of pull away late, but I do the rivalry aspect of it, I think, keeps it closer than people are expecting, at least for an extended period of time.
Okay. I'm sorry. Has Georgetown played anybody yet this year? They got to look ahead to Creighton.
They hung with West Virginia until they got fucking thumped.
I apologize.
I actually thought they played pretty well in Morgantown. They the building, the Coliseum got lit at the end, and the game got away from them.
Yeah,
they got Javon Small from the 3-point line.
Yeah,
which we were all over.
They played Tennessee. They've lost to everybody good. I guess give me Georgetown. I don't trust the Syracuse team even at home. Yeah, I think Georgetown needs a game of it more.
Win.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, Cornell's actually really good this year, but I'm just not seeing it with the Syracuse team at all.
No, I like Georgetown. I think this is a big game for Cooley and company. They've been playing better. I mean, didn't look terrible at West Virginia. I mean, it didn't start good, but they kind of came back, and then, like you said, at the end of the game, just got away from them. I think this is a huge game for them. Syracuse, I mean, they suck. No Starling either, unless he gets announced in either. So I'm going to take the shitty team catching points at least. So I like Georgetown here to potentially win this game. What'd you say it was, 1.5?
Yeah, it's 1.5.
Oh, yeah. So I like Georgetown to win this game. Syracuse just they don't impress me whatsoever.
No, they've been rough.
The Battle of Jersey, Seton Hall-Rutgers. Rutgers laying 13 at the rack. Woo, buddy. Troy, where are you going here?
I want to take Rutgers to still, I want to lay them to cover this. But at 13.5, I am kind of pushed away from it a bit. I mean, I'll lay it.
Rutgers can't fucking drill them.
I'll lay it gun to the head, but this is not one that I have like super duper conviction like Cap does here.
No, Seton Hall, they have not looked great this year. They just lost at home to Okie State. They've got a couple other. They got a bad loss to Monmouth. The team's a bit of a mess.
But the home advantage of that New Jersey smell doesn't apply to Seton Hall. Like, they're already used to it, so they can just walk.
The rack is still the rack.
Still the rack, for sure.
Rutgers destroys teams at the rack. I think from a talent perspective, I think Rutgers is the better roster, better team. Seton Hall's a mess. Lay it, lock it. This is one I would actually consider outlining. I think they're going to blow the doors off of them.
Okay.
Free Jersey mics for all the kids.
Yeah, that would be nice. I kind of like Seton Hall here. I mean, that's just a shit ton of points. I mean, 13. I mean, Seton Hall has the ability to slow it down and play defense enough to lose 55-67 or something. I mean, 13 is a ton of points. Yeah, they had NJIT on deck, so I wasn't. It was a little local rivalry game, so a little look ahead spot. But I think they can hang in there. This is a big game. I mean, 13 is just a lot. If Rutgers goes out and wins by 15, 20 points, so be it. But 13 is just too much for a team that plays this slow and has this good a defense, at least. If they score 55-60, I think they can cover this game.
How bad is Kansas going to beat NC State tomorrow? It's a 14.5 point log at 14.5 point line at the Fog.
Yeah, this is a Fog game for sure. Who does NC State have that's going to stand up to Hunter Dickinson?
Nobody.
Yeah,
this is a very classic, like, Hunter Dickinson looked good, looked really good against the guys that aren't really good game, right? Like, this is the one where all the Kansas fans see Hunter Dickinson go for like 23 and 11, and they're like, "Oh, he's back. We're gonna be fine." It's just because you're playing the Pussy Pack.
Where you going?
Pussy Pack's not going into the Fog and fucking covering this.
No,
especially on their first true road game too. So your first true road game is getting Kansas off back-to-back losses, coming home pissed off. I don't really care for this Kansas team too much. I don't think they look amazing, but this is an ultimate just fuck you and drill you spot by 20 plus tomorrow. Really, so I'll lay it with Kansas, no problem.
If this isn't a fuck you and drill you spot, it's time to start. It's time to really start fading Kansas, because they need this game. Yeah, especially off the two losses. Yeah, Kansas can drill them.
This is a Bitcoin bet.
Yeah. I'll be on Kansas later, everybody.
1 Bitcoin.
Next up, this one's a fascinating game. Atlanta, the second leg of that doubleheader. We had Auburn, Ohio State. Now we got Florida, Arizona State. Line is at 8.5. Florida's super impressive, but so is Arizona State. Troy, where are you going in this one?
I think Florida probably covers this, but this is another one where probably get a pretty good amount of first half line points, and we've been pretty successful fading Florida in the first half and watching them just kind of light it up in the second half throughout this year. I like that angle here. I think Arizona State hangs. I think Florida pulls away late, probably wins by 10.
ASU Magic, they cover. I'm not sprinkling the money line, but I definitely think they cover this game. We've seen how this ASU team has they've got like a bit of they've got a bit of toughness and the pieces fit well together. I do think Florida probably has a better roster, but Arizona I think has a better team if that makes any sense. So I think they keep it close. Florida wins by 5. Give me the 8.5.
Okay.
I'm with Cap. I like Arizona State plus 8.5. This is a ultimate litmus test for that team to show up and actually compete. I mean, Florida's fucked up everybody they've played this year by like 13 plus, but I think ASU has the athletes and the size and athleticism to hang in this game. I mean, Quayton's down low. He'll probably block 3-4 shots tomorrow, just what he's been doing. I think they got the athletes, the athleticism. It's a neutral. I think they're going to be able to hang in there. I mean, this is a big game. Florida's also got North Carolina on deck too on Tuesday. So, I mean, maybe a little bit of a look ahead spot because it is just Arizona State after all. But I think Florida probably wins by like 5 or 6. It comes down to free throws at the end, and ASU forces up some shots that don't fall. But I like them.
Florida still has a 0 in their record. Is this the game they drop?
I was going to say, what about the 153.5 playing that over with these two teams?
I can see it. Yeah.
Especially if you think Arizona State's going to hang around.
Yeah.
It's at a neutral, though. Those games are always weird.
It's in Atlanta. Yeah. What about this game? What about this game in Frisco, Texas, LSU-SMU? SMU's like 4.5. Kind of surprised that they're laying that many.
That's one that seems like it's telling. I don't know if they're begging for LSU money there or if they just think that SMU is. I mean, again, this is another not home, but likely to be somewhat home. I know LSU to Texas is really not that long of a drive. So there could be some people.
Oh, sorry.
Well, pretty much.
No, I thought I got it backwards. I apologize.
I'm going to lay it with the ponies, but I do think that this one could be an underrated, pretty dang good game on the day with all these other headliner bangers.
Bro, these games, I'm just while you guys are probably listening to you guys, and I'm just scrolling through. I'm like, holy fuck, that game's tomorrow. That game's tomorrow. Shit, we got a Hawaii midnight game for God's sake.
I know. The nightcap.
Jesus.
I love ending the night in Honolulu. It's the best.
This is the one that Trevor said, Trevor and I, we got to sing the song, right? Yeah. We couldn't sing it the other time because they weren't playing, but it's a hard ticket.
Oh, hard ticket.
Well, hey,
hard ticket to Hawaii.
Hey, we need to get
paradise.
We need to get in touch with Hawaii and get them to play their game on Friday night at midnight while we're doing this show. Like a perfect, nice midnight. I mean, the show ends around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. We go live at 10, 11. As we're doing a 3-hour show, have the nice Hawaii game in the background. That would be fantastic.
That would be perfect, actually. Yeah, they're missing out.
Even better.
How many extra eyes they would get just because of the show?
So if we're reaching out to Hawaii, SGPN alt commentary, Moneyline Mac, pick Dundee. Who says no? No Beanick on the sideline with the microphone.
No. No Beanick with the meatloaf microphone on the sideline.
But I'm with Troy. I like SMU tomorrow on that one.
Yeah, I was like, what game are we on?
Just them on the glass. Just them on the glass. I mean, they crash the offensive glass. LSU gives up so many extra second chance points here that eventually at some point, like it's gotta break them, and just SMU gets what they want on the glass, extra free points. So 4 points. I like that.
My only concern is that we've already seen SMU drop a game to an SEC team this year. So I'm just concerned there might be a difference in talent between.
Is that more concerning that if they – I was going to say, is that more concerning that they've lost to an SEC team, or would it be like your personal handicap on a team that has no losses? Would you say that they're due, or would you now say like, oh, they're past due, they've already lost their SEC game? Which one applies more here?
Give me LSU. I don't trust SMU yet.
Maybe SEC. I'm all for it. Fuck this SEC.
What we need to do if we get in touch with Hawaii, their NIL program should be they should just buy a bunch of like apartment complexes and land and give land in Hawaii to the kids that want to come play there. Like, yeah, you can always have a vacation home, just 24 months playing football or basketball for Hawaii. No problem. Feels like that would be worth a little bit more than money.
I like it.
Who says no to that?
Who says no? 2 last games, guys, before we get out of here. Then we got to give out best bets. We only got 7 minutes. Creighton, Boise. That game's at Boise, but not at their home arena. Or sorry, what'd I say? St. Mary's.
At Boise.
St. Mary's, Boise. St. Mary's laying 2.5. Then Creighton's at Alabama in Tuscaloosa, the return trip. Alabama's laying 10.5. St. Mary's laying 2.5. Give me your 2 picks on these games, and then we can give out our best bet of tonight.
I'm gonna take
on the Boise. Sorry. Go ahead.
2.5.
St. Mary's minus 2.5, and Alabama's minus 10.5.
I'm gonna take the points with Creighton. I know they're in Tuscaloosa. I just think that this might be 2 teams that don't really want to back down. I don't think Creighton has a chance at the money line, but I do think that this is only like a 4 or 5 point game in my head. And then Idaho Falls Magic for Boise State. They went on the money line against St. Mary's.
There you go. Trev, where are you going for both these games?
I'm with Troy on Boise. I like them outright in this one. And then for the Bama game, kind of like the over. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's just going to be up and down points the entire time. But no Pop Isaacs for Creighton. We'll see how that actually plays versus a real team outside of UNLV. So they got that 1-game injury bump. They showed up. They put it on UNLV. Now you got to hit the road to Bama. I think I like Bama in that one, laying the points there to eventually at some point just hit every shot down the stretch and win by 13-14.
Cap?
Okay. Cosign on Boise. Give me the money line. I think they do win outright in Boise. The other game, give me Creighton plus the points. I don't trust Alabama.
Don't trust Alabama. All right, guys. It does it. We ran through about the top 10 games on Saturday. So we'll break down every game tonight. But tonight's best bet, I got Nebraska minus 4.5 is mine. Troy, what's your favorite play tonight?
Do we have to go tonight?
You can give out one tomorrow. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
I'm taking that Oklahoma State money line as my best bet of the day.
All right,
it's the dumbest one and the least informed and the most like if I had to take all of my brain power away, I would still say Oklahoma State money line. So I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Trev?
My favorite play tonight, gonna have to go with I think Army. Nebraska would be mine, but you got that. I'll pivot to my other one with Army. Those fans are going to be in town. It is. I mean, fans are going to be in town for the game tomorrow, so they're going to go check out the game, see their basketball team in action. They're going to be a nice crowd for Army, and they'll be able to hang in this game against G-Dub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I've got an Army play tonight. It's not Army against the spread. It's the Army team total over 70.5.
Let's go, baby. Beat Navy. Army over Navy tomorrow, even though I do think Navy will cover. Do we have any dogs that we think can win outright tonight? Army might be able to win, actually.
Utah Tech at home against Weber State could win.
Yeah.
Utah Tech's not good, but Weber State is also not that good.
Hey, careful. Weber's my team.
No more Ballin' Boys not walking through that door, Mac.
Army plus 455's in our parlay. Do you guys think Boston can win outright at Merrimack? That line's steamed down.
How juicy is South Dakota State?
That's where I'm looking.
Tonight. Jackrabbits?
Jacking off.
Yeah, give me the Jacks.
All right, plus 350.
Let's jack off together. What?
Jack fucks in my parlay.
Huh?
Whole lot of jack fucking tonight.
No to Omaha, no to North Dakota, I assume, guys. No to Indiana.
I was going to say the 13.5 with Northern Iowa is actually a bet that I played tonight. If I had to give out one from the evening, I think Northern Iowa actually stomps them.
If we do our moneyline dogs, Army, South Dakota State, Utah, Tech, that would be a 59-1 if anybody wants to play a parlay tonight. Or if you just want to play Army on the money line, I think we all agreed Army plus some points, and we think they're live. So that's plus 450. So
plus 450. Why is that plus 450?
I don't know, man. But the game's tipping off here in 2 minutes, so get on over there, get down on some action. That will do it for this pregame show. Reminder: make sure you subscribe to the channel, and the party will be tonight. The party will be this. I think this is the first Fire big time Saturday slate of the year, and these guys know all about this Friday Night Riot show that's about to happen here. Some may call it an insurrection. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Who says they don't work? You saw what happened this year. So get on over there. Storm, baby, storm.
It's just a dust up, Mac.
Yeah, it's just
a little dust up.
It's a little dust up.
We encourage.
Well, guys can't have fun anymore. We can't go to the Capitol.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, there's a lot of shit coming back. I mean, in the political world, Trump's back, Rich Rod's back, and the Redskins are gonna be back. Everything's back, baby. So get
Rush
on
and I are only about 30 minutes away too. So if anybody wants to set anything up to run down there together as a group or something like that, let me know. Yeah, for sure.
Pregame before you go to the Capitol.
You got to put your bets in on the Virginia side too, because the DC bet is all jacked up. So it makes sense to make a quick pit stop here before the storm truly begins.
Yeah, just say that you're going down to the Capitol to fade Virginia, the Wahoos, or the Hokies. Just say that when you get caught. So get on over there, subscribe. We'll see you guys in a couple hours. He is at Cannabis Capper. He's at Sully Picks. He's at Troy Chitting. I'm at Moneyline_Back. We are the College Basketball Experience. See you guys later tonight at 11 o'clock, and we are out of here.
You've been boxed.
Magaline Mac.
Magaline.
Oh, we